Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the St. Peter School Board. It is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. We are in the governor's room of the community center. We'll call the meeting to order. First item up is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We were a little lopsided tonight, having some board members who had to miss this evening, but we have quorum, full steam ahead. We need to consider and adopt the agenda, which is in the board packet online and in front of you.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Agenda is adopted. Kimberly, do we have any requests to speak?
I have not received any.
Thank you. Next up, approval of the consent agenda, which is found on page 3 of your packet. Page 3 through 16.
I'll move consent. Jen.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Items you'd like to discuss? Discussion.
I do like our new format of personnel changes in the
Yeah.
consent agenda. Thank you.
Discussion. Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consent agenda is approved. Thank you. Next up, the best part of the night. Vinny, you're up. Our student spotlight. Vincent Vinny Wagner, welcome. Mr. Doherty.
Angle myself this direction, I guess, right over this way. Well, good evening, Board Chair Potts, members of the board. It's my privilege tonight to introduce you to Vincent Wagner, who is currently a fourth grader, North Elementary School, in Mrs. Zitter's fourth grade class. In fact, I would probably echo your thoughts. Like, you had the honor of staying with Mrs. Zitter 2 years in a row. She kind of like followed Vinny right to fourth grade from third grade. Vinny knows what we value at North is, being kind, confident, kind of respect is an important component, and he kind of embodies all of those things. But what I was really able to like focus on in Vinny is like his interpersonal skills. Like this kid right here, he's just like a friend magnet. Like that's what he does. Obviously, he checks all the boxes off on the report card. I checked it myself. Like he's getting the best grade, the top grades all the way through. But what I'm really impressed on Vinny is his friendship skills. Like when you see him on the playground and connecting with his classmates, he's in playing football, he's playing the tag games, he's wandering around, gossiping on the playground just like any pre-middle school student may do. But like he's just like, the kids all kind of appreciate him, and he's always got this great sense of humor. And that's kind of what pushed him over the edge, in this case, for me to select him out of 160 kids, 165 kids in fourth grade. So there's the talent. So for a second year in a row, Vinny is going to be showcasing, and I'm kind of making up stuff right now, Vinny, so don't tell me I'm off script, because I am. He does stand-up comedy for our arts and academic night. And so like I sat in the music room last year and just listened to him. Perfect timing with his jokes. Like I was rolling. I mean, it was, no offense to Mr. Dixon back in the day. He had some jokes in the morning. Not you, Mr. Dixon, but the dad, Mr. Dixon. He would roll off some morning jokes on the PA system at North, and my sixth graders would kind of like, oh geez, like a little painful. And that's not Vinny's jokes. Like he's got great timing and talent, and kids, and that is impressive as far as I'm concerned, just having that interpersonal. So here's what we're going to kind of roll this into two parts. He's going to talk about himself a little bit, and then we're going to use it for kind of a shameless advertisement for Arts and Academic Night. So Vinny, you're up.
Hi, my name is Vinny. I'm in 4th grade at Miss Sitter's class at North Elementary. I'm really excited to be the Spotlight student this month. On March 5th, 5 to 6:30, we're having Arts and Academics Night at North Elementary. And I'll be performing stand-up comedy in the music room. Here's a few jokes I've been working on. And keeping our theme focused on school. Do you know why you can't trust an atom? 'Cause these guys make up everything. North Elementary is the best because it's not a middle school. Do you know what you call a middle school student with carrots in their ears? Anything you want, because they can't hear you. High schoolers. I have three high school siblings in the audience today who think they're a lot cooler than I am. Do you know their favorite perfume or cologne? Me neither, but if you find out, could you buy it for them? Because I can smell them from here. A couple of teachers told me I would never amount to much because I procrastinate. You know what I told them? Just you wait. Thank you. There's more where that came from, but you have to come to Arts and Academics Night. It's not just my comedy show, there's a lot more going on. At Arts and Academics Night, there will be a spelling bee in the gym. 3rd and 4th graders will be competing in a science fair. All grades will have interest fair displays. There's going to be a scholastic book fair in the media center. You can see STEM projects in the cafeteria. There will be visual art displays in the art room. And performances in the music room, including mine. It's a really fun night where students get to show what they're good at and what they've been working on. I hope I see you there.
All right, nice work. So, I mean, what a great sample of like how he kind of brings people together. Like that's what I've seen throughout the school building for 3 years now, almost 3 years now. So that's why you get the honor of like being a Spotlight student. We only get 2 a year. So, and that's an incredible, like to stand in front of your peers and your family members that just show up for that performance. That takes a lot of courage, and he's there to do it, and he's really good at it. So, so thank you for doing that, Vinny. Thank you to your family too, and your teacher that showed up. Are you able to introduce them by name?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My mom recording right there. Her name is Tara. Sitting next to her, that's my brother Jack. And sitting next to him, that's my stepdad Clay. Behind my stepdad, it's my sister Savannah. Next to her, that's my brother Wyatt. And then next to him, that's my teacher, Miss Sitter. And next to her, that's my dad over there. Tony.
All right, very good.
Forgot
Thanks, you
about that.
guys. Thank you. Questions for the master comedian?
I have a question. Are you safe to go home with these guys after you?
Any favorite comedians yet of yours that you?
No, but like the only two I've really ever seen or kind of watched is Fluffy and Nate Bartagazzi. I don't know how to say his last name.
He's good.
Bartagazzi.
Yeah. Love them.
So your own style. That's good.
Yep. Blazing his own trail.
That's good.
All right. Well, again, congratulations, Vinny, and congratulations, family.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see a headline. Arts Night.
Join us for Arts and
I
Academic
love
Night.
it. Thanks, Vinny.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'd say come back anytime, but
We still have to.
Save yourself.
yes. That's awesome. Thank you. It's gotta be a handful. I love it. All right. Next up, action items. Action item number 1, consider a resolution to accept gifts, donations, and grants. Dr. Graff.
We have 2 donations and a grant to report this evening. And we have a donation of $500 that was made to the school district by Paul and Avis McDaniel and Paul and Diane Huso. And that donation goes toward the Emily Kroc Scholarship. And Emily was a beloved EL teacher within the district, and we appreciate the commitment to her family and friends in continuing to support her love of education. Second, we have a donation from the St. Peter Booster Club for $10,889.76, and that's to reimburse the district for the items purchased on behalf of the Booster Club during the fall and winter season. And then lastly, a grant in the amount of $4,000 was received from the Carl and Verna Schmidt Foundation, and the St. Peter in Community Family Education will use that grant to support the community choir. So I would recommend that you accept these gifts and donations.
Also move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
No, other than I appreciate people stepping up and giving. So thank you to Paul and Avis and Paul and Diane and St. Peter Booster Club and also the Carl and Verna Schmidt Foundation. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Discussion. Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. It is a resolution, so we need to go around the table. Ms. Martins?
Aye.
Mr. Dixon?
Aye.
Mr. Count?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution is approved. Item number 2, consider approval of master agreement with principals. Dr. Graff.
I'm happy to report that the board has reached a tentative agreement with our principal group. Some highlights of the new contract are the addition of 1 personal day, a 3% and 3% increase in salary, and the creation of a principal on special assignment position, which effectively brings the special programs administrator into the principal contract, which has been a topic of conversation for a number of years, and Dr. Olson kind of got that rolling last year, and we were able to get that done this year. So that would, meaning TEAV would roll over to the principal contract if ratified or accepted by the board.
Also move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Discussion. Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Yeah, thank you.
Tough group to work with, but we got it done.
Don't envy you. Next up, consider approval of substitute rates. Ms. Prafke.
On, right?
Yeah.
On the, right? So as you are aware, in the summer, early fall, we approved the teacher substitute rates this year. They're at $200 for a full day, $100 for a half day. That's listed on your document tonight because we're really trying to get into a 2-year system of approving these substitute rates for 2 years. And so then we are anticipating for 26-27 that those teacher substitute rates will remain the same. They're very competitive in the area, so we feel strongly that that's a good place to be. We've added some paraprofessional, we've broke down the paraprofessional substitute rates for the special ed and title, and then we broke that down into health assistant. And so we've got 2 different rates there for 2 years. You can see those. Those are, again, slightly under what a newly hired paraprofessional would make. We want to make sure that we're keeping those under that beginning rate. Then oftentimes we have teachers as paraprofessionals. We certainly offer paraprofessional opportunities to our paras first, but an example might be summer school. So if we don't have enough paraprofessionals interested in a position, but a teacher says, you know what, I'll do it, we need to identify a rate for them that's consistent. So traditionally our practice has been the top of the para scale, and so we're just making sure that we're formalizing that and getting this system in place. So from year to year, everyone knows what the plan is, and we can follow that through. Our custodial rates are listed there. Our food service substitute rates are actually outlined within their contract, and you can see what that states there. Then we have 3 nurse positions, or 3 nurse options, that could be called into filled positions. That would be a licensed school nurse, so that might be one of our retired school nurses. Mary Powers is always my example. When she comes back, what rate of pay would she make as a substitute? We may have a RN coming in to fill in, again, identifying what the rate would be. And then we've had some interest from LPN. So wanting to make sure, again, we're within the market as for those rates to be competitive, but that we have that plan in place when we need it. One of the reasons for making sure that we get this in place is with our new leaves, such as Minnesota paid leave. We're finding we have more folks on leave, more positions to fill. We want to have a game plan before we say, hey, come substitute for us, and we don't have the rate of pay. Plus, when we post those, we're required now to have the pay rate in there. So just a little overview of the substitute rates if and when new positions come through or contracts are settled, such as office support, we'll be bringing that particular group back for a substitute rate to be approved or to be considered for approval. Any questions about those rates? All right. And the HR committee, or the business committee did take a look at these as well.
That's true. Thank you. I do move to approve the changes in the substitute rates. And I'll stop there.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Thank you for keeping us on top of this, because I know that it gets increasingly difficult. I mean, I think our substitute situation has gotten increasingly difficult. And we have increased pressures, like it seems like at all times in all areas, it gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we have things like the ESST and paid leave, but we also have to solve the problem of those holes.
Those are all fantastic benefits for our employees, for sure. And it's our job to figure out how to make all that work, and that's what our plan is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you.
We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Very good, thank you. If
Thank
you
you.
know anyone who may be interested in substituting in the district,
Sign them up.
shameless plug for that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, consider approval of budget adjustment target for fiscal '27. Ms. Gracia.
All right. So based on the budget timeline that we re-implemented last year, February is the month where we are going to come to the board with any recommendations if we have them for budget adjustments for the coming year. So at the business committee, we talked through a couple different options, and this is the one that the business committee proposed to bring forward to the full board. So on your document, the left-hand column, as always, is how the rollout would look if we were to roll forward with the same staff, the same enrollment estimates that we have, and how we would be positioned 3 years from now. So at the business committee, we talked quite extensively about some of the assumptions that we have in our 3-year rollout, talking about enrollment, what the per pupil formula might do, compensatory, special education funding. We talked about salaries and fringe and some of our larger expenditure estimates that we have. So it was a pretty healthy discussion about how we came to our estimates and whether or not the business committee was comfortable with what assumptions we make in this rollout. So on the left-hand side again, would be if we do nothing, if we roll forward with everything as is, how we would be sitting. So at the end of 29, you could see we would be just below 30 days. Our fund balance policy is we aim to be between 30 and 36 days. So then the middle column is going to be any recommendations that we have. So the proposal that the business committee had elected would be in 26, we would assign $500,000, and we are earmarking it for the HVAC project at North, as well as the roofing that we know is going to have to be replaced across the district. We felt like that was a prudent savings to start working towards because we know that both of those are going to be multi-million-dollar expenditures. They are going to be actual costs within 10 years, and we would like to start saving for that so that we can eliminate some of the cost to our taxpayers, not having to bond for quite as much. So we do have that in our proposal. And then as part of that, 27, 28, and 29, we are proposing $100,000 adjustments each year, knowing that at the end of 29, we still want to be within our fund balance goal. So if we would do those things together, setting aside that $500,000 and then $100,000 each year in adjustments, we would end 29 at 31 days, 31.1, which puts us in that 30 to 36 day mark that we're aiming for. Any questions that you have on this?
I do want to add, I did talk with Ken today on the phone. He's unable to be here, so I did say that I'd mention this for him. He wanted everybody to be sure that, you know, this is a 3-year rollout and there's a lot of assumptions in here. And as those assumptions change or as things become more solidified, this document is fluid, and we could come back if we find out the legislature has done something unexpected and asked to adjust this plan. But this plan just really gives Megan and myself and the business committee a target to start working toward as we start to prepare next year's preliminary budget. The other thing that Ken wanted to make sure that I brought up and that we talked about at the business committee is there was some discussion on the fund balance goal of 30 to 36 days. And the committee talked about, are we comfortable with that? And wanted to further that conversation. So that will likely come back at maybe a study session. We just wanted to make sure that everybody got a chance to weigh in on what is the level of comfort with 30 days. Did I get that right? Okay, thank you.
Piece that we talked about at the business committee is by doing a $100,000 adjustment each year, we felt like it was we are noting the fact that in 29, you know, our revenues and our expenditures are not keeping pace with each other. So we wanted to identify that. We also want to do a slow measured approach so that if our assumptions don't hold true, we have time to increase that adjustment amount or decrease that adjustment amount if we get more students or if the legislative session comes back and we get miraculously more money. We felt like that was, I think Dr. Graff's exact words were something about a slow drip. It allowed us time to see that and to try and remedy that, but not so drastically.
The 3-year rollout definitely shows the chart going down. What's in question is the slope of that graph. And that's largely based on assumptions of decreased enrollment over the next 3 years.
Yeah, it's clear every year that we operate, we are eating up 20 days of our reserve funds in our current trajectory, which is a problem, which would mean we would have no reserves after 4 years. None. So that's what we're trying to fix at a larger sloped scale. I agree with you that we looked at 3 separate options. This one was the most palatable and seemed the most judicious because of the gradual nature of it. And so I'm hoping that it's successful. It's the best plan that we have.
I guess I have to ask a question because I know I'm going to get asked this. The $500,000 that we set aside, if we did set aside, would that take care of those $100,000 adjustments each of the next 3 years? And if we did that, what would be the increased costs once the HVAC project and roofing came in?
And Megan, please help me if I'm wrong. Yes, we would likely not need to adjust by the reduction, but that 30 days is coming no matter what. The reason we felt $500,000 was appropriate was it allows us to make a slow adjustment. Hopefully $100,000 isn't enough to notice but it still prepares us for what we know will be an expense in the future. So I think the last part of your question was what would the expense be in the future? We are working with ICS to get some estimates right now of what a project at North would be, and we haven't gotten those numbers yet.
So as you said, we're able to adjust it as we go. And if something drastic happened, we could reach into that 500,000 also. Just would take board action, right?
Yep. Yeah. By assigning, we're just simply setting it aside and saying this is a cost that we are confident we will have, but we can pull it back out should we need it for other reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, if the board wished to tag it specifically for like North or the roofing project, you could commit it. Assigning it allows John or myself or the business committee to move it without board action, just as a part of the approved budget. But it wouldn't require a resolution to assign or unassign.
But the budget would have to be approved eventually by the board.
Correct.
And not being on the business committee and understanding this as best I can, I think this sounds like really good due diligence and flexibility, and for the taxpayers, we're paying attention and they can take a look at this. It's not gonna be surprises. We're doing good practices up front. Therefore, I move that we approve the budget adjustment target for 27.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We've approved the budget adjustment target for fiscal '27. Thank you, Megan. Next up, consider policies for approval with a single reading. Dr. Graff.
We have a number of policies that were reviewed by the policy committee this month, and they all fall in the 700 category. These are the non-instructional operations and business policies that we have. And the ones that we're presenting tonight for adoption with a single reading have minor or no changes. And I believe Kate and Bill have some additions that we might want to discuss here as we go through these. There were some things that we missed.
On all of them up to policy 720, we have agreed that that one reading should be sufficient. I would like to say that in policy 702, there is I guess basically kind of a structural, grammatical kind of problem here, in that it refers to the purpose of this policy is to adopt the Uniform Financial Accounting and Reporting Standards, which we all know fondly as UFARs. And it is, once it's stated, it does not need to be restated in full every time that it's used. So the parenthetical UFARs would suffice. It's done a couple of times there. And then it goes before the statement of 4 Minnesota school districts, not after that in number 3. Minnesota school districts is maybe superfluous. We might not need that every time, but that's just a change that I would make that we had not discussed, that should not substantively change one reading approval on this one. The other one, and I thank you, Bill, for your diligence on this. On policy number 723, which is, we tabled it, we brought it back because this has to do with, we needed approval from the Minnesota Historical Society about maintaining the records, which we received, therefore we're putting it forward for approval. And at the very bottom, it references a policy 724, which is not in our current documents, so we're going to do some investigation on that. Again, does not require that we put this back for further review. A first reading should be sufficient. Okay, Bill?
Yep.
Okay. So then I move that we accept policies 701 as listed in the agenda for approval on one reading.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Discussion. Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Excellent, thank you. So we'll make those changes in the actual draft before it would be published. Yep. Thank you. That's all for action items. Information items, review of policy manual revisions, first reading. Policy's so popular, let's stick with it.
You bet.
Dr. Graff.
Policy Committee reviewed Policy 702.1. This is a policy that there is no MSBA companion, so MSBA does not have this on their books. And our practice has been to compare our policies to the changes that occur frequently with MSBA policy. And what we found, and Megan actually found this as she was reading it, is we feel like all of the information in Policy 702.1, procurement procedures, is repeated in greater detail in Policy 721. So the committee thought it appropriate to drop 702.1, but wanted to give the board an opportunity to review that to see if everybody's on the same page. So that's why they're bringing it back, or bringing it forward with as a first reading and not for approval with a single reading.
So is 721 an MSBA policy?
It is, yep. Yep. And it goes into pretty good detail about procurement procedures.
Has legal references,
Yep,
everything?
yep. So it seems
So,
better.
Yeah, is it, then the action gonna be that we just eliminate?
That is the proposal. Yep. But by bringing it back, a month later, it allows us some
Right.
time to just double, triple check to make sure there's nothing in there that we wouldn't want to get rid of.
I don't know the history for sure, but my assumption was it existed, then a model policy came along that was more thorough. We adopted that and just have left both sitting there without realizing or cross-checking that one's covered in the other.
So in an attempt to save words, the redundancy will be eliminated this way.
So,
I like policies that have legal references attached to them.
Yep.
So that
yes,
if anyone is looking at it, they know where they can go
Yep.
somewhere.
and that's what that model, that's
Yeah.
what 721 gives us.
So I would like the policy committee as they're reviewing, if we have one without legal references, do we need it? Or if we need it, do we have some reference that we can
Yep.
attach it to?
For sure. Yeah. All right. We'll bring it back next month.
Thank you.
That was all the informational items. We are on to reports. Building principals. Yeah, they really bring us down. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we just. Yeah. We prefer Doherty without a microphone. Yeah.
So in early childhood, we appreciated the warm weather last week. We got a chance to get outside. There was some sort of moon situation where things were quite wild at school. So we appreciated the opportunity to get out. Today, not so much, but we're hopeful that spring is coming. Around 30 days till spring, but no one here is counting. We had our school readiness open house last week where we're open to families to be able to come see our site, talk to teachers, learn about the program for next year. We had a really good turnout, about the same numbers as in the years past. We have a number of people who will just register online, and that's great too. Those are all posted now and open for registrations. So we'll be continuing to offer the same programming for our 3 and 4-year-olds and 4s and 5s, and then our pre-kindergarten, our K-Ready program, that will continue next year. Children do need to be 3 years old by September 1st in order to be eligible for the program. We'll continue to have transportation. The city of St. Peter, that has been going quite well with our transit, and so we're planning on that again. It's a little bit more cost effective both for our budget and for parents, and so that will continue into next year as well. And then we'll use Saints Bus for our special education services. Coming up, we have our conferences in March. That'll be our spring conference. At those conferences, we talk about all the progress students have made. We talk about going to kindergarten and what that might look like. So it's really an exciting time to have our families in the building. So we're looking forward to that.
And we just finished conferences. We had great participation at South Elementary, so thanks to the parents that came out. We also had a really successful readathon. It's I Love to Read Month. We've been celebrating hard at South, but we had a record this year for our readathon. We made $8,543.25. So that money is used by our Star Pride team for Star Pride celebrations. You may remember hearing about Will Sing Songs. That was paid for by Star Pride. It also buys the kids the t-shirts every year, and then some of the playground things like bubbles and chalk and those kind of consumables. So really exciting. Last year we only raised $6,000, so that's a huge bump. So great job, kids and families. Tomorrow is the 100th day of school, so very, very excited for our kids. Lots of math will be happening tomorrow. It's not a mathathon, but lots of math on the 100th day. Tuesday, February 24th, we're looking forward to our partnership with United Way. They bring a book called The Kindness Booth and distribute that so that every first grader gets to bring one of those books home. They do a read aloud with the author, so it's pretty exciting. Staff development wise, we have an early release coming up in March, so we're doing some planning for that. And then it seems far away, but April 24th is a professional development day that we are also planning for. Today, appropriately enough, was Bus Driver Appreciation Day, so we just got the text not that long ago that everyone was safe and sound and home. So thanks to the bus drivers. It was also School Counselor Appreciation this month, so thank them if you haven't. And our kindergarten open house is March 5th, so we are really excited about that. Those kindergarten registrations are rolling in. I think I mentioned before we sent out more invitations this year than we have in the last couple years, so we're excited to see the numbers.
North Elementary School, where we, yes, finished up conferences as well, large participation percentage. Second round of student-led conferences, got some feedback from parents on that one, so made some adjustments. Want to give a shout out to Carter and Mrs. Molter's second grade class. I kind of surprised him and sat in on his conference that he was leading. He did a great job, by the way. It's like, Carter, is it okay if your principal sits in? And it took off. But we love that because, I mean, it's all about the student. So the students have to own their learning. They do a great job showing that progress over time. So something we do at each of the grade levels, and we use a standard format. Also, a Kindness Week going on. So our Kindness Crew sponsored a dress up. They love to have sponsor dress up weeks, you know, so we have dress up week this week, and then they're capping it off tomorrow with the fourth grade Kindness Retreat. So all the fourth graders, 30 National Honor Society students. Thank you, Mrs. Engeldinger, for loaning those high school students. They do a great job leading the small group discussion, and lots of energy and music and singing, and it's going to be great. They come back to North and they just kind of collapse, like teachers and students, like both of them. It's just like, it's a lot of high energy. Young Writers Conference, busy week next week. Young Writers Conferences next week, March 3rd. We have 65 students going, third and fourth graders. So we're sponsoring 2 buses this year with chaperones and everything. Families are also, we had to kind of draw a line on that. Families will take their kids, but we just like filled up on the busing, which is a good problem. That's a great event. I don't really have to promote Art and Academic Night. Vinny did a great job on that. But that is March 5th. Apologize for lining up with the same night as I know, it's just going to be on the south side of town, the north side of town. It's going to be super busy. So that's the same night as kindergarten, the group. But 5 to 6:30 at North, spelling bee, all those actions. So join us. And then a date change, a venue change on the School of Excellence ceremony and winter concert. I find myself thanking Ms. Engeldinger not once but twice. She is going to loan us the high school gym so we can fit everybody in there. March 9th. It's a Monday, 6:30 to 7:30. It's winter concert as well as recognition for a School of Excellence. That's North, everyone.
We have course registration going on right now, so those of you with high school kids at home, they should by tomorrow, 9 through 12, should have their registration materials and start to be talking and thinking about their course selections for next year. I can't remember what I talked about a month ago, but in case I did not remember to mention that Bree Bergstrom was named the Minnesota, did I talk about this? The Minnesota Music
No, you
Educators Association Choral Director of the Year for 2025-26, which is a huge honor. And when that was going to be introduced, Dr. Graff and I were also going to have the opportunity to go to their conference because our Fleur de Lis Singers, which is our new audition choir, was also invited to perform a program at that event. That was canceled due to unrest in Minneapolis, but they held it last week at Buffalo High School, and our choir did the performance at home last Thursday night, and it was incredible. So congratulations to both. That's a huge honor for those kids, too, and to Bree. So that's an honor that she brings back to the high school. Also, I have one more sign that spring will come. It is spring play audition time.
Yes.
Next week. So it will come.
Alas. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm not sure what's wrong with him, actually. I'm not sure.
Dr. Graff.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about today. So the weather, we were tracking it all day in constant conversation with area superintendents, the bus company, and that blizzard warning switched so late in the day that you get to a point where it's kind of the point of no return. And that's why we did not dismiss early, because we wouldn't have been able to gain much by the time we got bus drivers organized and everything. So wanted to point that out. We did get confirmation from Monica at Saints Bus that everybody made it home safely. So those are stressful days for all of us, and we always keep safety in mind, but things like this happen where sometimes it's not an easy decision, and just want to apologize for anybody who was stressed out by that. Next, with legislative season upon us, know that I'll be attending a number of professional development or opportunities online through MREA and MASA. Those are starting in earnest here, so I'll have a couple of those per week, just to try to stay up on the legislative changes or the things that are being talked about. And then in addition to that, Mr. Putz and I will be attending, I think there are 3 or 4 sessions at South Central Service Cooperative, sessions on facilities management, just so that Seth and I will have some time for planning, just to be thinking about how we maintain our facilities for the long haul, on top of our LTFM plan. So those are some things coming down the pipe, and then I'm sure Kate will talk about it. But History Day is Friday, so super excited that I've been able to clear my schedule for a bit to do some judging. So it'll be fun to see it on the other side of things for once. So. That's all I got.
Awesome, thank you. Well, let's just go right to Kate then, around the table.
History Day is Friday. Thank you, Director Kaut, for volunteering again to be a judge. There are still spots open for people to judge. The kids come and stand by their projects during their class time. Otherwise, you can view the projects. They'll all be set up in the media center, and they are wonderful. It's kind of been an interesting, shorter frame this year, but this is how we get them tuned in to the value of history and research and perspective and so on. So be there or be square.
Nothing for me.
I was gonna say something about the bus drivers, but Janice stole. Yet, I heard that on the way up to my son's today and on the way back. I didn't see any school buses in the ditch, so they must have done all a great job, but I saw plenty of other vehicles in the ditch. But I will say the 169 between here and Le Sueur, I think I went the speed limit on, so it was nice there, so. But that's it. Well, I guess it's on the schedule, but we do have a negotiation session set for Monday. Hopefully, we're getting close.
Anything from any committees that were not already discussed tonight at the meeting? Any updates, anything? Policy, I think we got covered with what we brought. Any others?
Covered.
Yep. Perfect. Upcoming meetings, as Mr. Kaut said, there's a negotiations committee meeting on Monday, study session, and then business policy and education committees all meet in mid-March before our next meeting, which is Wednesday, March 18th, back here in the governor's room.
One other thing I forgot.
Yes.
The MSBA starts their chat at 9 o'clock on Fridays in the morning as far as what's going on at the legislature. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I can get you the Zoom address to.
It's always really informative.
Yeah.
Not so much the first one, but
Well, to set the stage.
yeah.
All right. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone. World record. I think we
I've been out of here in 30 minutes when I've run one, but that's fine. It's not, it's not a competition.
I'll do better. I'll do better next time.
I think that was a great performance.
I gotta speed up when I say.